let's talk a little bit about the Leadership Fellows
Okay.
program.
Yeah.
You've helped us by helping to organize this program. And this is a program that we have that recognizes an interest on the part of people who've been involved in the SENCER program to continue to be involved in some leadership way. But it also gives us an opportunity to have some of these fellows work on very specific projects to increase the impact of the program on their campus, or share the program with others in their region, or to do some other project. What would you say to somebody to encourage them to become part of this effort?
So you mean to bring new people in?
And how would you recruit? What would you say to somebody to encourage them to make an application or to nominate, get nominated for this?
I think the first thing is that people need to be sensitive to the important work that is going on around them, perhaps more sensitive to the important work, that to offer leadership in SENCER, it's not something that is just distant, that people are already contributing in various ways. I just ran this workshop, SENCER and Mathematics, and so there are a number of people there that were doing rather interesting things. And so I think that I would be inclined to sort of say, who on your campus, who are doing important things related to STEM education? What are they doing? And then sort of take it from there in terms of looking at these various practices and seeing how they might relate to SENCER. Again, it's kind of starting from the broader picture of STEM education. And then it's seeing, well, how does that relate to SENCER in some way? We have a lot of people. I'm very much impressed with the caliber of people and the things that people are doing at an institute, for example, the participants. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there, but I think each of these institutions could probably name, one or two people that are doing very interesting.
What would you say the advantages of being a fellow?
So I think one thing is just recognition for one's accomplishments, and I think in general people need that. So that's one place. It's kind of a stamp of recognition that what you are doing has value beyond the individual course that you are teaching at your institution, or the curriculum that you develop for your institution, and that other people can learn from you. And I think the other part of it is the expectation of moving forward, and have a person think a little bit more systematically about how that person might influence STEM education in his or her area. And I think sometimes things are very much organic, and that can be good, and we just kind of go about doing things. But I think that in most instances we could be a bit more purposeful.
Okay. One of the things that occurs to me is that the people, when they think that they're doing something that has a public good about it, or a virtue, often think that it has to be done apart from their self-interest. And I think one of the things that we've tried to do is to say that it's one of the reasons we have a democracy is so that we can pursue our own self-interests and pursue them in connection with others and their interests. And so the idea that a person might want to be a fellow because it would enhance their CV is a perfectly legitimate reason for us, provided they meet the criteria and are promising to do the work. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
So they needn't think of this as just having to do some kind of altruistic thing, although many of them and most of them are extraordinarily altruistic in their approach to others and to life.
And I think you're right. I mean, people are motivated in academia largely because of their interest in teaching, their interest in research, their interest in giving in various ways. And to see SENCER as just as a part of that. And How the reward system interacts with that is important. We had a bit of a discussion about that issue earlier in terms of sort of being clear and trying to understand one's own passions in relationship to systems in which one must function, and working out some of that. But I agree with you that people should not be hesitant to realize that advancing themselves in their careers can indeed be advancing SENCER.
And advancing the goals and aspirations for our society.
Of course.
If in fact you succeed in getting students to learn more and be better, more conscientious citizens or better workers or competent members of a family,
Yes,
what more would you want?
absolutely.